Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-Wen is in no mood to back down in the face of ever-increasing Chinese threats. And the latest, when it slammed China's military exercises as an irresponsible act for a country of that stature. She further added that such actions will only further increase the tensions in the region. China began its war games as Tsai Ing-wen went on a 3-day-long diplomatic trip to the United States. Beijing had warned U.S. not to entertain Taiwan. The Taiwanese president, it claims that Taiwan is a part of its own territory, a claim vehemently refuted by the self-governed island nation. Brazilian President Inácio Lula da Silva will be visiting China from the 12th of April to the 14th. Lula said that he is planning to consolidate ties with China. He also said that he will invite President Xi Jinping to visit Brazil for a bilateral meeting. China is Brazil's top trading partner. President Lula's trip to Beijing was initially scheduled for March, but it was delayed after he was diagnosed with mild pneumonia. President Lula da Silva will be taking to state-owned media said that he wants the Chinese to make investments to generate new jobs and also generate new productive assets in Brazil. A Chinese court has sentenced 2 of the country's most prominent human rights defenders for over a decade. According to reports, the lawyers have been held on charges of committing the crime of subversion of state power. The heavy sentencing has drawn strong condemnation while throwing light on the situation of free democratic speech in the nation. A court in Shandong province sentenced Zhu Xiong to 14 years in prison and Ding Jiangxi to 12 years in prison. Next in the series of joint military drills, the Philippines and the United States have launched their largest ever joint military exercises. The long-standing allies seek to counter growing Chinese assertiveness in the South China Sea region. More than 17,000 Philippines and U.S. soldiers will be participating in this year's shoulder-to-shoulder exercises, which will focus on enhancing maritime and coastal defenses. It will also be the first time ever to hold live fire drills at sea. The war games come just after China ended 3 days of military exercises around the Taiwanese Strait. Australia's Chief of Defence Force has said that the possible intelligence leak by the United States was a serious incident. The chief said that the issue of maintaining confidentiality of information is critical to the development of national capability and trust. According to reports, 3 U.S. officials have said that the national security agencies are reviewing the process of sharing their most sensitive secrets inside the government. The security agencies are also to ensure tight measures in case of the confidential information being leaked out due to diplomatic fallout or any other reason. South Korea says that a large part of the U.S. documents that have leaked are fabricated, more so the parts containing conversations between the 2 nations. The documents were posted on sites Twitter and labeled secret and reassemble routine updates of U.S. military's joint staff matters. Korea's first Deputy National Security Advisor said that the leaked documents will not determine its alliance with the United States. They further added that they intended to use the opportunity to strengthen the 2 countries' cooperation. The public airing of the highly classified documents about the Ukraine war has sent shockwaves across the U.S. government. The White House now says that it is concerned that there could be additional leaks. The U.S. Justice Department is currently investigating the origins of the leaks and its repercussions on the ongoing war in Ukraine as well. Meanwhile, reports also suggest that the leaked documents may have origins in the chat room for gamers. As per an 18-year-old gamer, these documents appeared for months in the chat room. Further criticizing the U.S.-South Korea joint drills, Pyongyang has said that the aggressive military policy and actions of the U.S. imperialists and the South Korean perpetrators are emerging as a threatening entity. Kim Jong-un held a meeting with his chosen senior officials to discuss the same. According to reports, the meeting focused at making military options of the DPRK cleared and making through preparations for switching the powerful practical action. North Korea, a highly sanctioned country itself, has often complained about the routine military drills that the U.S. holds with Seoul, while Pyongyang itself continues to conduct regular missile tests. The Air Forces of India and U.S. conduct the COPE India exercise at the Kalaikonda Air Base in West Bengal, with Japan as an observer. The exercise will see intense air maneuvers aimed at improving interoperability. The exercise aims to enhance mutual understanding between the two air forces and share their best practices. The first phase of exercise has commenced from Monday. This phase of the exercise will focus on air mobility and will involve transport aircraft and special forces assets from both the air forces. Japan's foreign minister has said that the world is at a turning point. Yoshimasa Hayashi spoke about the 2023 Diplomacy Blue Book. The Blue Book aims to provide an overview over foreign affairs and Japan's diplomatic activities in the past years. The foreign minister further added that Russia and China's joint actions around Japan are one of the major causes of concern in the region. The Japanese government has vowed to closely monitor all such strategic drills around. The minister reiterated Tokyo's commitment to maintain and also strengthen a free and open international order based on the rule of the law. To resolve its disputes over barley imports with China, Australia has reached a complaint agreement to appease both. Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong announced the deal, signalling an improvement in ties of both the nations. Australia will suspend its case at the World Trade Organization, while China is to conduct a review into duties imposed on the grain. In 2020, Australia had lodged a formal complaint with the WTO over anti-dumping and countervailing duties imposed by China on the Australian barley. This became a major source of friction between the two countries in the recent years. White House's National Security Counsel John Kirby has said that U.S. and France share a terrific bilateral cooperation. He further added that the two nations have been closely coordinating on the security issues in Ukraine, the Indo-Pacific and Sahel, among others. According to Kirby, on being asked about France's comments on Taiwan being Europe's priority, Kirby said that both U.S. and France are focusing on ensuring their respective national security requirements. In the latest gun menace incident in the U.S., a 23-year-old U.S. bank employee armed with a rifle shot at least 5 people dead and wounded others at his workplace in Louisville in Kentucky. The Louisville Metro Police Department said that attacker was fatally shot at the scene. The department identified the shooter as Connor Sturgeon, who joined the downtown branch of the Old National Bank last year. People wounded in the attack were treated at the University of Louisville Hospital, including police officers. South Korea's eastern coastal city of Gangneung reported a tragic incident as a wildfire broke out in the city earlier in the day. Large plumes of dark smoke were seen billowing across the sea's horizon. The blaze started in the morning, prompting evacuation of some 300 unsuspecting locals. More than 200,000 people live in the eastern city. Firefighters struggled to control fire at waterbombing aircraft were unable to take off due to the winds. No casualties have been reported so far. Beijing was hit by thick storms, crowding the entire city in thick layers of grey dust. The local authorities have issued a yellow alert for the same and has warned citizens against stepping out. In the past too, Beijing has witnessed sandstorms on a regular basis as it is located near the vast Gobi Desert. According to Beijing's Environmental Monitoring Center, the city's real-time air quality index has shown serious levels of pollution. Due to the heightened activity of a volcano in the center of Colombia, an orange alert continued to be in effect. The volcano is located in the region commonly known as the Ring of Fire. The alert indicates that an eruption is probable but not imminent. Last week, Colombian officials began to evacuate about 40 families from their homes after the volcano showed high levels of seismic activity. In 1985, the region witnessed a major eruption of the volcano, which resulted in the largest natural disaster that the country has ever witnessed, killing at least 25,000 people. A fast-growing antibiotic-resistant bacteria is the latest concern in Los Angeles. The Superbug was detected for the first time in Los Angeles as per researchers at the University of Southern California. The Superbug are spreading faster and wider in the community that previously thought of. The Superbugs were discovered during surveillance of wastewater at treatment plants in Los Angeles County, the Joint Water Pollution Control Plant in Carson, and the Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant in Playa del Rey. Together, these facilities provide water to about 7.5 million people.